I want to tell you a story that still makes my stomach churn when I think about it, even now. I never thought I'd be the kind of woman who ends up in the middle of a scandal at her own baby shower, but here I am. It wasn't just a scandal. It was a reckoning. It started a few years ago in Nashville, Tennessee. I had just turned 29, newly married to my husband Marcus. We met at a music festival 3 years earlier. He was the tall, charming guy in a worn-out denim jacket who helped me when I dropped my phone in the mud. He made me laugh before I even knew his name. That was Marcus, a fixer, a sweetheart, or so I thought. We had a whirlwind romance. Dinners that turned into long midnight walks, spontaneous road trips, hours of conversation over black coffee. When he proposed to me under the stars in his parents' backyard, I said yes through tears. But it wasn't long before I realized that marrying Marcus also meant marrying into his family, a tight-knit Southern clan with strong opinions and an unspoken pecking order. At the top of that order was his mother, Doreen. Doreen was the kind of woman who could make you feel 3 inches tall with just a look. She wore pearls to the grocery store and always smelled like gardenias. She had a way of talking that sounded polite on the surface but dripped with condescension. She never said she didn't approve of me outright, but the signs were there. "You're such a hard worker, Eliza," she said once, placing her manicured hand on mine. "You remind me of the girls who used to help clean our summer home." I brushed it off like I always did. For Marcus, when I got pregnant, I was over the moon. Marcus cried when I told him. We started painting the nursery, picking names. I felt like we were writing the next chapter of a love story. That feeling lasted until the day of my baby shower. The shower was supposed to be a celebration. My sister Maddie and my best friend Tanya had spent weeks planning it. It was held at Marcus' parents' house, a grand 2-story home with a wraparound porch and manicured lawns. Maddie decorated it with sunflowers, my favorite, and Tanya organized little baby-themed games that made everyone laugh. Everyone except Doreen. She arrived an hour late in a cream-colored dress and heels so high she walked like she was on stilts. She gave me one of those air kisses and said, "Oh, honey, you look healthy." I ignored it. I tried to focus on the people who were there for me, the ones who loved me. We played the baby food tasting game, unwrapped gifts, took pictures, and then came the cake. Tanya brought out this gorgeous, 2-tiered lemon cake with the words "Welcome, Baby Carter" written in blue frosting. That's when Doreen stood up, glass of champagne in hand, and clinked her spoon against it. "If I may say a few words," she started. Everyone quieted down. "We're so excited to welcome this little one into the world. Of course, we all hope he takes after the Bennett side of the family." She laughed lightly. Strong genes, you know. There was a ripple of polite chuckles. I forced a smile. "And Eliza?" She turned to me, raising her glass. "You've done a wonderful job planning this whole thing. I mean, really. You're so organized. Honestly, I thought you were one of the house staff when I first walked in." The room went dead silent. I stared at her, my face burning. For a second, I thought I must have heard her wrong. But no. She was smiling, that same gardenia-scented, passive-aggressive smile. Marcus laughed nervously. "Mom, come on." But she didn't stop. "I mean it as a compliment, darling. You're just so efficient, a real working woman." That was the moment something snapped inside me. Maybe it was the hormones, or maybe it was months, years even, of biting my tongue, of swallowing comments, of pretending. I stood up, my heart was racing. "Actually, Doreen," I said, my voice trembling but loud. "You're right. I am a hard worker. And since you think I'm so good at organizing, I thought I'd take a page out of your book and arrange a little surprise." I reached into my purse and pulled out a manila envelope. I had debated for weeks whether or not to bring it, but something in my gut told me to. Call it instinct. I held it out to her. "Here, read it." She looked confused, then annoyed. She took the envelope and pulled out the single sheet of paper. Her eyes scanned it, and I saw her expression change. "What is this?" she said, her voice suddenly sharp. "It's a DNA test. Marcus and I took it after you suggested at dinner last month that some babies don't look like their daddies. You remember that?" The guests were wide-eyed, frozen. Marcus looked like he'd been sucker punched. "Just to satisfy your curiosity," I went on, "the test confirms 99.99% that this baby is Marcus. Not that it's any of your business. But since you seem so concerned with appearances, I thought you should know." Doreen turned a shade of pale I didn't know was possible. She dropped the paper as if it burned her. You had no right. I had every right, I said. You made me feel like an outsider since day one, like I wasn't good enough, like my love for Marcus and our baby was somehow less than just because I didn't come from money or your social circle. Well, I'm done letting you belittle me. This is my baby shower. This is my child, and I am not your maid. The room erupted in murmurs. Maddie came to stand beside me, her hand on my back. Tanya looked like she wanted to clap. Marcus stood, finally, and said, "Mom, you need to leave." She looked stunned. "Marcus!" "No, you crossed the line. Eliza's my wife, the mother of my child. If you can't treat her with respect, you're not welcome here." I could barely believe what I was hearing. For the first time, he chose me over his mother. She left in a huff, pearls swinging, heels clicking. No one stopped her. The rest of the baby shower was quiet, but filled with a strange relief. People came up to hug me, whisper words of support. My Aunt Linda handed me a slice of cake and said, "I never liked that woman anyway." Later that night, Marcus and I sat in bed, the DNA test still lying on the nightstand. "I'm sorry," he said. "I should have defended you sooner. I didn't know how you did today," I whispered. He wrapped his arms around me, resting his hand gently on my belly. Our baby kicked, and for the first time in months, I felt safe. That day changed everything. Doreen eventually came around, mostly out of guilt and public embarrassment, but the boundaries were set. I learned to stand up for myself, to speak out even when my voice shook. And when our son was born, with his daddy's dimple and my eyes, I knew in my heart that no amount of snide remarks could ever touch the love we had built. If you enjoyed my story, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more real-life stories like this.